88th North London derby on Super Sunday live from the Emirates. Arsenal are unbeaten in 6 against their great rivals, with Spurs looking to do something which they last did in the Premier League 15 years ago, and that's beat Arsenal on their own patch. Now, both sides may go into the game depleted in numbers. Spurs find themselves top of the injury list with 10 in total. And this figure could increase further once there is something definitive on Pape Matar Sarr's injury that he has picked up during this international break. At the moment, Spurs are without 6 senior midfield players, midfielders represented by the red colour there, and that includes James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski. As for Arsenal, they find themselves second on the list with 7. That includes 2 big problems at the back as we wait for updates on centre-back Gabriel and the current starting left-back Riccardo Calafiori. So the first question for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is that heading into this fixture, which of these sides is going to be most impacted by injuries?
Nice easy one to start with.
Yes. Wow. I think Spurs. I think Arsenal has got more strength in depth. Yes, they're still missing big key players, but I think for Spurs it is harder to replace them. So I think they will be affected more by it.
One of those big key players for Arsenal we're waiting for is Gabriel, and David Ornstein reporting in the last couple of days he could be out for between 1 to 2 months. Nothing from the club yet. We're waiting for concrete news. If that is the case, if it is the worst case scenario, how hard does that hit Arsenal and their hopes?
He's massive for them. He's their leader. He's their rock at the back. Him and Saliba, they work so well together. Yes, they have Masquero, who came from Valencia, but then still, Gabriel is different quality, and he brings also goals. Important goals, with their set pieces and stuff. So it will be a big miss. We're going into December, January, where a lot of games are going to be played, and you need your best players. I think Gabriel is a really important player for Arsenal.
Yeah, 11 games between now and the end of the year. Let's get the Arsenal fan perspective, shall we? Bring in Luke for the first time. Luke, Henry, shall that be Henry? Or is it? I mean, listen, if it is the worst case scenario, it's bad news, that, isn't it?
It is, but you can't make any excuses. And in the summer, we've done a lot of transfer work. You've got Piero Incappi in there. You've got Riccardo Calafiori that hopefully could be fit for Sunday. He can play left centre back, and also Jimmy mentioned Masquera there. So. Don't want to use it as an excuse, you want to use it as an opportunity. You touched on the importance of set pieces and goals, but this might surprise you. Gabriel has only scored 1 goal this season. It just shows the importance of him. And he currently epitomises what we are right now. But, people make excuses about Arsenal and injuries, but you look at that graphic there, I think that's a bigger concern about the state of football and the way it's in at the moment. I think the games are just so much, and we all want quality, we all want entertainment. But it's very difficult, even if you're a Spurs fan, to go to the Emirates with 6 midfielders missing. But you have to find a way, and we've got injuries up front as well. But I say that, we've still got the likes of Leandro Trossard, Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, Martin Odegaard hopes he comes back. So it's a big miss, but it's a good opportunity for the other players to come in and put their names.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it, Jimmy? This season, more than ever before, are you more confident now about Arsenal with the depth they have to cope with injuries, however big they might be?
Look, if you're going to be successful, if you want to be successful, you have to prepare for these kind of moments. It's going to happen in the season, and you still have to win. As you just said, they have spent a lot of money in the summer. They have got in every position. They have got really 2 really good players. So it should not be a problem. The only thing is the momentum and how everybody plays with each other. That's going to be the only problem, because some of them won't have a lot of games behind their belt. But then still, it's at Arsenal. They play at home. You think that they should be still very dominant and should be able to beat Arsenal, to beat Spurs. Especially a Spurs with so many injuries.
We'll get our Spurs fans' perspective in just a moment. I just want to finish on Arsenal, though. Top of the league, 4-point lead, Luke. But, here we are, Premier League football back for the next 4 months through to the next international break in March. How much of a marker, what sort of marker do Arsenal need to lay down over these next few months?
It's an interesting one because, look, the North London derby is a beautiful game when you win. It's a horrible game when you lose. But I think with Arsenal fans and just football in general, you can't go too high and you can't be too low. Obviously, the derby is form goes out the window. You want to win that game. But, I've had this question a lot, and it's Arsenal need to win this game, Arsenal win to do that game. Actually, Arsenal need to win as many games possible because they need to keep in front. And the beauty is right now is that we don't have to rely on Manchester City or Liverpool. We have to rely on ourselves. So we can lay down a marker by winning the North London derby. But, if we go to Stamford Bridge the following week and we drop 2 points, then you have to bounce back against Brentford. And then you have to go to Aston Villa and do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter in terms of the grand scheme of things of laying down a marker. We know what we need to do. I think we've got an unbelievable group of players. And now it's just up to us to start on Sunday and carry this on. We've done this long winning runs before. We just need to sustain it this time.
It's the thing for the outside. What Arsenal needs to do is just as cliche as it sounds, take each game as it comes as a game. Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah, we play Spurs, but look at it really cold. There's 3 points, and we need to win those 3 points. What is the best way, and how are we going to do that? Yes, it brings from the outside way more on the game because it's Spurs. But Arsenal, the group at Arsenal itself, the players, need to really stay cold and just business-like 3 points. Can they do that? I don't know. It's going to be a big ask after Sunderland.
I was just going to say.
And not winning there and having that setback.
Yeah.
How are they responding to that? Yes, there is 2 weeks between it, but in the past they haven't really responded well with disappointment.
Well, that's what I was going to
So
say.
for me, that is going to be those issues. If they don't win and it is a draw and Man City wins, it's only 2 points. And that is where they're going to become nervous, I think.
Yeah, you touched on it, and that's because of the international break and that Sunderland performance and that result. It's funny because, the weeks before that, we were talking about Arsenal not conceding shots, Arsenal were head and shoulders the best team in the country, and then all of a sudden we see the performance from Manchester City, and then the next sentence is, should Arsenal be looking over their shoulders and worrying? That just shows how football can change so quickly, so we just need to put our heads down. It's a beautiful game, North London derby. It's the best game to have after sort of a setback, and that's what you want with the fans there. Half or kick off if you win, and that's what we need to do. And then you carry that on to Wednesday. Can't forget the importance of that. Bayern Munich at home. That's a really good game for us. And then Chelsea. So it's a big week, but in the Premier League they're all big weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I think it's going to be a home win. No, some things never change. It's a North London.
Yes, welcome back, Arsenal. Spurs, Bayern Munich and Chelsea. That's a mouth-watering way to return, isn't it? Jimmy, let's look at the Spurs angle then before we talk to our Tottenham Hotspur fan. Their last 4 Premier League wins have all come away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Might it actually suit them that this is at the Emirates?
Yeah, it's because they set up a little bit different. The Spurs of before has always wanted to be a little bit open and wanted the ball, play a little bit more. The more you play, the more on the transition you're open and they don't defend that well. They are a little bit more solid, especially away from home. They are not really obsessed with having too much possession. If they have possession, we keep it, but we are not really that bothered about possession. And they have been able to be clinical, and they haven't found that really yet at home. But away, I think they're playing a little bit different, a little bit of weight off their shoulders, and they're getting results. So it is going to be a dangerous game for Arsenal. It is going to be even though they have got lots of injuries, it is going to be a dangerous game for Arsenal.
Let's bring Daniel in, our Spurs fan. You'll notice that Joe, the Palace supporter, is sitting between our Arsenal and Tottenham fans, just to make sure they play nicely. Daniel, how do Spurs cause problems for Arsenal this weekend?
I think it's mostly down to how we attack their back line. We now could probably assume that Gabriel might be out for this game. It's most likely going to be the case. So if that is going to be the case, we need to make sure we attack that back line as fast as we possibly can. From what I've noticed so far this season, we've started quite slowly. It's not been the best football, but we've been trying to grind out results, especially our away form. It's been really, really good compared to when we're at home. So I feel this might be the best litmus mark of ourselves to really kick on, really show that we can compete with the rest of the top four, but especially against our arch rivals. I know we could probably put in a good performance, and I expect that we definitely will. So literally, let's wait and see, but I have high hopes that we'll definitely at least grab a result.
I think this is going to be the first North London derby since 2014 where Tottenham aren't going to be starting with either Harry Kane or Son Heung-min. What about the impact of those players on this game, and who are the new Spurs players? Who are the heroes for Spurs over the next 10 years in this fixture? I know obviously the Europa League triumph made a team of heroes, but those two players that I mentioned there are almost kind of connected to this fixture and what they've done in it. So who's the new breed that are coming for these Spurs fans to get a handle on?
Well, I think this is why this is probably, in my opinion, the best derby in the country. I feel like this is the time when someone can step up and really lay a marker for being the talisman. Obviously, we've seen the likes of Son and we've seen Kane come, score amazing goals. I've seen amazing goals over the years, but we don't have them anymore. Now it might be time for the likes of Romero, our skipper, to step up. We don't have Maddison turning up today, or even right now for the weekend especially, but you could see Xavi Simons now come in. He's now taken on the mantelpiece of the number 7. This is his time to shine. Your compatriot. The most important thing of this, most importantly, is just the playing style. That's what we really want to see. I'm not asking for one person to step up and lay the marker. I want to see the team really perform.
Yeah.
And if they can all perform and get goals, wherever that might come from.
So you want performance over result?
Definitely, 100%. For sure. But both is really important. But I think for the weekend especially, we don't have a great record at their ground. But I think the performance, especially as a Spurs fan, and for most Spurs fans I can speak for, they want to see a great performance. We're not asking for, something that is really great, outstanding football. Just get the result. Go and get the result, get the goal, and then we can call it.
Are the Spurs fans patient, and do they understand what this manager is trying to do?
Absolutely. And I feel the most important thing is giving Thomas Frank time. He's come from Brentford, where he's got them to really high places with a really small budget. So imagine what he could do with a very big purse and a more ability to lay out his playing style especially. He's not been blessed with the players that he has right now because most of them are injured. Dominic Solanke can't play.
How big a problem is that becoming, the lack of Solanke?
A massive problem, actually, because we need a number 9. We've seen Richarlison start hot and he's turned cold. He's been like that for the past few seasons now. Can we still rely on him? Can we rely on Colin Wine? He's been injured as well. And he's only on loan. So we need to start looking forward towards the long term. How do we start planning if we can't rely on the likes of Dominic Solanke to play up top for us? Do we play with a false 9? Do we ask more from our midfielders? You can see Van der Ven even stepping up as well, scoring goals. You saw the goal he scored against Copenhagen. Maybe you could do the same on Sunday. Who knows?
That's one thing that's not happening.
I'm crossing my fingers. I reckon he might do that.
That'd be amazing.
He won't do that. But I do agree with your point about it's actually thinking about it in my head. It's an emotional game. It's a great game. But it's actually probably one of the best derbies we've seen in the Premier League, especially at the Emirates. There's always been some.
The pressure's going to get to Arsenal and Man City, the team to beat, not the league leaders.
You have to go back to when we played Manchester City, and if City were the team to beat, I don't think Pep Guardiola would have done his tactics that he did on that day after Haaland made it 1-0 after 10 minutes. Pardon?
Nearly won.
Well, I didn't think we played very well, but Pep went to a back 5 and sort of gave us all the ball, and we luckily got an equaliser from Martinelli in the last minute. If you think that's the team to beat, I wouldn't say that team gives you more respect. You saw the the possession that he didn't go. I think you go back to 2023 with Pep Guardiola, the second time in his career. He gave us Arsenal 64.6% possession. So. Yeah. Listen, I just think it's quite interesting, the narrative of City are back when they have lost to Villa. They lost to Brighton and lost to Spurs back to back.
Yes, but there's
we've lost
only
1 game this season.
Yes, but they're only 4 points behind you.
For sure, and we've won 8 of our 11 games.
That's what I'm talking about. They have done it before. You haven't.
Yeah, but I get that.
Arsenal haven't.
Yeah, but that's I appreciate.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
if they beat Man City, if you beat Man City, you're champion. That's what I'm saying. So they are the team to beat.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but you have to look at when City and Liverpool have had title races and Pep and Klopp. Pep's record at Anfield isn't great. Klopp's record, as I said, it wasn't great.
But you don't win the championship just only by winning against Liverpool.
But you have to win all the games. And
No,
right now,
you don't have to win all the games.
You kind of do. You have to win as many games as
You have to win more than Man City.
Yeah, but look at Arsenal's record against the Big Six. You know, before this, you know, before the defeat against Liverpool.
So
in
what's
August.
your problem?
No, but we had a really good record against the Big Six and we didn't win. Do you have to win against the teams around you? We've only lost one game this season. So we're the team to beat right now, is my point.
Is just started.
Yeah, but you're looking at City from previous seasons.
Yeah.
And right now, this is a different Arsenal. And I also think this is a different City in transition.
Is it a different Arsenal?
Yes, it is. Of course it's a
Because
different
you went
Arsenal.
to Sunderland and got a point.
But, OK, at the start of the season, we had probably the toughest fixture list. So that's what the narrative is. So
It is the narrative, isn't it?
We've won 8 of our first 11 games, but the fact that we've drawn one game, and you just touched on Sunderland beating Chelsea, who apparently are 6 points behind, should be in the title race, you're now going to use that same argument against me and say that we are not in the title race and we're not the team to beat.
No, you are in the title race. No,
but you've just contradicted your point.
No, I'm not. I'm not. You are in the title race, but I think they can go 15 games winning streak. You have not proven that
Well,
yet.
23-24, we went 16 games, we lost one and drew one against City, and we lost to Villa, and unfortunately fell up. Yeah, we lost it by 2 points, but that's the demonstration of Arsenal can go on a winning run, and it's not going to be easy, but that is the proof that Arsenal can go on a sustained period. Even in 22-23, we went from September when we lost to Manchester United. We didn't lose a game, but you're saying that we can't go on runs. We can go on runs.
I'm saying they have done it before. They are the team to beat.
Yeah.
If you do better than them, you're champions.
And we are doing better than them right now because we're 4 points
Right
at the top of the league.
But you have got another 20-odd games to go.
100%.
You know? So
I'm not going to let you sit here and say...
And that is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Arsenal can't do it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I don't like Arsenal. I do like Arsenal. I'm not saying all those. I'm just saying they are the team to beat for you because they have proven that before, year in, year out, that they can do it.
Of course.
And at this moment of time, what they have done against, Liverpool, for me is massive. After they had a bad game against Villa. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that for me are the key points. You have to still prove it. Arsenal still have to prove it. Can they do it? Have they got the quality? Yes, they have. But they still have to go out there and do it. They've done it before.
Out of interest, taking out Luke and taking out Aston, show of hands from the rest of our fans. Who's favourites for the Premier League in your mind? Is it, hands up if you think it's Arsenal? Are Arsenal the favourites?
No.
Manchester City?
Yeah, I think they are.
Wow. But you all think Man City 4 points behind are favourites? Yeah, Aston's going to be,
They've proved at Christmas time that they can when they've fallen into
that experience.
And that's what I'm saying, that experience.
So many games, they've got the depth and they can go on runs and excel. It's what Pep does. Yes, they had a bad season last season, but I genuinely think they are back to form and it's scary. And I think they're going to challenge Arsenal. I'm sorry, but you're going to choke.
And speaking of scary, just quickly, Erling Haaland.